Man City won the treble. Well, Mateo Kovacic, welcome back to another video. City have completed their first signing of the 2023-2024 transfer window, and it is Mateo Kovacic, Chelsea's 29, well, Manchester City's 29-year-old Croatian midfielder has joined Manchester City Football Club. We're going to win the Champions League again, says Swalesy in the comments. We've got a Croatian. They are a good luck charm, but we don't need a Croatian to win it because we've already done it because we won the treble. But this is our first signing in the summer after a momentous season, after an historic season. Can this guy push us on once again to greater heights? Of course, it follows yesterday's news. Yesterday's news of Gundogan leaving to join Barcelona. So it was nice that this got confirmed nice and early for City to get a player of his quality, his immense experience, and his stature in the game in through the door nice and early. It's what you want to see. It's what you want to hear. And City have signed and moved in. I did not forget. I mentioned it at the very start of the video, my friend. Did you check that start of the video again, Toscos? He said I forgot to say City won the treble. I didn't forget. I said it straight away. Do you not worry. City won the treble. But can Kovacic, can he win the treble with Manchester City? But either way, this is a very smart signing, a very, very smart signing. I will be doing another video where I break down all this in a little bit more detail about his actual quality. But this is an overview kind of video where we talk about what we've got from this new signing of ours. Kovacic is a very good footballer. He is. He's a very good footballer. Please do hit the like button. Please do subscribe if you are new to the channel. But I'm excited by this signing because I think it's a very smart signing. I think it's the kind of signing you need to freshen things up a little bit. It brings guaranteed experience. It brings know-how. It brings Premier League and Champions League know-how, of course. He's won the Champions League before. He's won plenty of stuff with Chelsea and Real Madrid. This is a very experienced, very senior, and very good footballer. Kovacic, of course, joins City off the back of his time at Chelsea, Real Madrid, and Inter Milan. I'll go over to City's site right now where it says City complete Kovacic signing. City complete the signing of Mateo Kovacic from Chelsea on a 4-year deal. So that'll take him to when he's 33 years old, which is about right. A 29-year-old made 221 appearances in 5 seasons at Chelsea, winning the Champions League, Europa League, FIFA Club World Cup, and UEFA Super Cup, as well as collecting the club's Player of the Year award in 2019-20. He's won 95 caps for Croatia, was a key part of his country's squad that reached the 2018 World Cup final and finished third at last year's tournament in Qatar. So a massive part of Croatia's success. They've not punched over the weight as such, but they've done absolutely excellent, and he's been great for them. Kovacic said he was thrilled to be joining City, where he says he can continue to develop under the guidance of manager Guardiola and believes he's joining the finest team in world football. This is a brilliant move for me, and I cannot wait to get started with City. Anyone who's watched this team under Pep knows how good they are. For me, they are the best in the world. The trophies they have won are clear for all to see, but they're also the best footballing side out there. To be joining this squad really is a dream for any footballer. Just take that in, everyone. A dream for any footballer. Over to you, Declan. Over to you, Declan. But this is Kovacic's day. I still have plenty of learning and development to do, and I know under Pep's management I can become a better player, which is really exciting for me. My plan is now to rest a few weeks before coming back to Manchester to prepare for the new season. I want to help this club stay at the top and win more trophies. He's right about the development thing, by the way. 29 seems old, but it isn't in the big old year of 2023. This guy has got plenty more to develop, plenty more to learn. And you've got to bear in mind, Fernandinho was 31 years old when Guardiola rocked up, and look how good he got under Pep Guardiola. Players can perform and improve at any age under Guardiola, and I've got no doubt Mateo Kovacic fits that perfectly. He looks good in that shirt, by the way. He looks good in that shirt. That's a strong jawline, isn't it? Cheeky said about him, Mateo's an excellent footballer. He can play as a 6 or an 8, has plenty of experience at top-level clubs, and he understands the Premier League. It's a very simple decision to bring him to City because he has the tactical and technical qualities we are looking for in a midfielder. He's someone we've monitored for a very long time, and always we were impressed whenever we watched him. I'm delighted he is here. This is a great signing for this club, and I'm very excited to watch what he can do with Pep and the rest of our backroom team. Yeah, it's very good, very good. It's a hell of a career, by the way. Dinamo Zagreb, Inter, Madrid, Chelsea. It's an esteemed path on a esteemed company. He's tread en route to the Etihad, one which has seen him develop one of the finest deep line fielders in the game. He really is. It's an absolute Manchester City. He's perfect for Manchester City. Excuse me. I mean, look at his haul there. It speaks for itself, doesn't it? 4 Champions League medals, Europa League, 3 Super Cups, 3 FIFA Club World Cups, 2 Croatian leagues, 2 Croatian Cups, a La Liga crown, and a Spanish Super Cup. So it's a hell of a CV, isn't it? Let's be honest. And he's obviously got the whole kind of like document of his career over there, over on mancity.com. Please head over there, of course, check it out. You've got Gallery, of course, as well. Let's have a look at what he's been up to, Mateo. Gallery just doing his signings. He's got this generic cheeky signing there, which I love. You've got to get the that cheeky signing, the photo in there, of course. There he is, number 8 shirt. He's got Gundogan's number. And of course, there is just the general pose. He looks good, man. He looks good to me. The old camera one, which I love that one there. Then, of course, the infamous chair one in Studio One. He looks good, man. He looks good. He suits that kit. The kit looks nice to him. He looks tough, doesn't he, Kovacic? Like, he's seen a few things, and you can't bully him around. I'm excited for this signing, man. I think it's a really smart one, and I've got a feeling that this signing is going to be the kind of signing that just sort of that we need. I think in general, when you lose a player like Gundogan, you need experience. You need know-how. You need someone who absolutely can step into his shoes. And sort of not miss a beat, because it's very hard to lose a player of Gundogan's quality. You just can't replace Gundogan. But what you can hopefully replace is that experience and that leadership. And Kovacic brings to this Manchester City side a real understanding and know-how. Like, he's been there, he's done that. Like, this is a guy who knows how to win at this highest level. This is a guy who, by all accounts, is an immense professional. He understands success. He understands what it takes to be a winner. And that, to me, is key. Look, if you're going to lose Gundogan, you're going to need someone who's going to bring in a little bit of an edge back to this team. You're going to need someone who wants something to prove. Like, I do feel like hunger is going to be so important for this City side next season. And Kovacic will bring a bit of hunger. We can't deny it, man. Like, the hunger that he'll bring to this Manchester City side, he's got to prove something. Like, Gundogan's got nothing left to prove, and you're going to need a player who wants to be here, who wants to win things. And if players want to move on, let him move on, bring in someone else who wants to settle in. He's going to come in during pre-season and, of course, want to change things and want to prove himself. And to me, that's crucial. That's absolutely crucial. Like, Kovacic will bring that mentality. I'm sorry, I'm just checking notes here as I do this. Updating the thumbnail at the same time. That is editing for you right now. I've just changed the thumbnail for this video as we crack on. But I like it. I like the signing of this. I think it's a smart signing. Not every signing needs to be a £100 million player or a superstar. Some signings just need to be smart and sensible. Think Alvarez for 40 million. Think Akanji for 15 million. Some players, if you see a player of that quality, you get him in. He is a handsome fella too, actually. He is. He's got that, like, that Eastern European kind of... I mean, look at that. He's a dreamy guy. He's looking a bit like a Croatian Jason Statham there. Croatian Statham. He's a good-looking fella. And he's a strong fella as well. What do we get from Kovacic? Well, we get an elite technician. We do get a guy who's absolutely excellent, at so many things. Like, the thing that stands out for me, Kovacic, I was looking at a bit of a comparison. Let me see if we can bring it over onto this video, actually. I'm going to try and bring it up on screen over here. I'm going to have to email it myself. But I did a bit of a comparison compared to last season's stats over on Squawker. And I'll bring it over now. I've got to just kind of send it to myself via email. But I looked at his stats from last season and compared it to a few similar-ish players. And I'll bring it up on screen. Let me just do a tiny bit of editing to see how he compared. Now, of course, not every single player is going to be the same. I'm aware of this. They're all very different. Hang on. Let me see how I can get this on screen right now. Let me bring this on. Oh, there we go. Right. Like, this is obviously very big. So, I'll try and talk over this. If you're not sure if you can see this or not. I brought a few players up there. McAllister, Kovacic, and Bruno G. I thought they were decent comparisons in Gundogan and Granit Xhaka. To me, I thought they were the players. They're a decent bunch of players to compare them to. You might have to go full screen on this to be able to see it, but I think that's a decent comparison. I'll try and crop it a little bit more so I can make it a bit bigger. But hang on. Let me just try and crop it so I can make it bigger. It's going to try and make it as big as I can for you guys so you can see a bit more of it. There we go. I'm kind of squeezing it aside here, but you'll have to kind of make do with that. But this is the Squawker comparison matrix. And, like, not every player is exactly the same, but I think you can see there that some players, you know, like he compares pretty favourably to pretty much all of them. The thing, this is per 90 stats, by the way, and it's based on last season, which is Chelsea's terrible season. I thought I'd be fair and look at Gundogan, Xhaka, Bruno G, and Alexis's last season. They're all slightly different players, but the thing that stood out for me is that immediately his touches. He's had the most touches of any of these players. His ball recoveries is in the middle, 6.4. 7.7 for Bruno G, 6.7 for Alexis McAllister. So very similar. Possession lost, sort of, it's not the best, which is Granit Xhaka. But not bad. Goals, he is the lowest with the goals there, so he needs to improve on that one. Passes attempted is also the highest as well, 69.1 per 90, which is actually far away and ahead of Gundogan and Granit and Bruno G. He's got the most passes attempted per 90 of any of these players by some way. His pass accuracy is really nice, it's 86%, which is bang in the middle of all those players. Gundogan's got the highest, as you'd expect, but then it's pretty much... yeah, it's Man City level. His through balls attempted is a little... He's think he's third down that lift. It goes Bruno G, Gundogan, and then Kovacic. For a man, actually, for a man who's not going to be playing, you know, he won't always be playing as a... He's not always been playing as an 8, but his actual through balls attempted are pretty decent. And then you see his duels contested. It's 8.9 per game, which is behind Alexis and Bruno, but it's still pretty good. It's better than Gundogan and Granit Xhaka there. His take-ons is really good. Bruno G, once again, the best player. Bruno G is a great player. But don't forget, this is off his poor season, Bruno G's best season. But it's still second, 1.2 take-ons completed per game. Better than Xhaka. Alexis is actually a little bit better as well, but it's still good. But this is the good thing for me. His take-on success is the best there. 68.7%. Much better than Gundogan and the rest of them. Alexis is up there, but not quite as good. In general, Bruno is mad, actually, to be fair. He's a fantastic player. In general, he compares favourably to pretty much all these players. And once again, this is based off his poorest season. So we've got to give... you've got to give the context of this, which is, once again, it's a poor season for Bruno G, for Kovacic. So give him a little bit of credit that way and see how he goes when we actually see him at his very best. Because I think that, you know, if you've got a guy who's had a poor season, but his stats still do compare to some of the best midfielders in the league, I'm impressed. Let's read some of Kovacic's quotes. I'll go over to the interview once again over at mancity.com. He said, "It feels amazing to be here. All the people have already made me feel welcome, so I already feel part of it. It's very nice to be at such a big club, a club that's won a lot in the recent years, and I can't wait to get started." By the way, he's the skipper of his national team, which I love that. So we're signing another captain. If we get Declan Rice, another captain. We just signed... Vardiol is the kind of guy... Does Vardiol captain anyone? But if he doesn't, he definitely will do one day. Manchester City signed captains. That is genuinely intentional. We sign captains, and I love that. And what better way to get hunger into your team after you've lost, you know, or maybe you've reached a peak, or you need a bit of drive again. Sign captains. I like it. I like it a lot. He said it's very nice to be at such a big club, a club that's won a lot in recent years. I can't wait to get started. He said, "I'm enjoying the current Champions League winners and Premier League winners. So it's an amazing team with amazing players, a great coach, and I can see from the first impressions when I arrived that it's a huge club and it's truly a pleasure to be part of it. I'm really excited to play with such big players who've won a lot during their careers. So it's a huge excitement for me." Doesn't know anyone, said, but he can't wait to play in the Guardiola. I came here to this great club with an amazing manager to learn and to improve my understanding of football and try to be the best version of myself, so it's a huge part, of course. It's a huge pleasure to try and learn, to be here and try and improve and learn. Always when I watch City, it's a pleasure to see how they play. It's so tough to play against them. It's probably the worst opponent to play against because they have the amazing skills on the ball, and how they play, it's just beautiful to watch. I'm now part of it. I can't wait to improve and give my best playing the style. I think there's always room for improvement, and when you are in such an amazing squad that tends to have the ball a lot and to play, keep the ball, you can improve a lot. So that's my aim, to improve, to learn and win, and obviously trophies for City. Yeah. He talks an awful lot. I would recommend, of course, the whole interview on the. He talks very intelligently, very gracefully. He says he can't wait to play with, the likes of Bernardo and Rodri and De Bruyne and so on. I think this is going to be a really smart signing. I do actually think he'll go up a level. Go and watch Kovacic at Inter, by the way. I know it's a while back now. Or watch him at Real Madrid. He got a little bit more functional at Chelsea. But there's a creative player there who can add a lot more to his game. And I think Guardiola will unlock that side to him. And I like his attitude. Also, the fact that he just doesn't give the ball away. Do not underestimate how good that is. Do not underestimate his ball retention, his dribbling, the fact that he can step past players. He's skillful. He's aggressive as well. He works really hard. His passing is crisp, precise. His dribbling is intelligent and incisive. He's just a really smart player. With a wonderful attitude who, for 25 to 30 million pounds, it's a great signing. As Ali says, Gundo is better. Do you know what? Maybe right now he is, but Kovacic is a lot better than we realise. And his form hasn't been good for some time, but that's the Chelsea tax, man. That's the Chelsea tax. Give him a little bit of time to adapt to this team, and I think we'll be very, very surprised how good he is. Chelsea fans will tell you he's not very good, but that's just nonsense. They literally had him as player of the season at one point. Good players do good things under great managers. Great players do great things under good managers. Sometimes great players only do good things under average managers. This is the best manager he'll ever play under, and I think he'll go up another level. Guardiola will give him that platform to really express himself, and I can't wait to see what he does. Like, I think he's going to play every now and then as an 8. I think every now and then he's going to play as a number 6 as well. I think he's going to be a natural for this Manchester City side. He's definitely stronger, faster, and a better dribbler than Gundogan. I agree with Bruyne that he's very different. Gundogan is better at so many things, but he's definitely stronger, faster, and a better dribbler than Gundogan. Bruyne. I agree with that. But then Gundogan's more creative. He's probably got a slightly better first touch. He's definitely more of a goal threat. He's a little bit more versatile potentially. Gundogan's probably a better player, and he's probably more similar to Bernardo right now. I actually agree. But put it this way, I'm a firm believer in getting very good players and let them do their thing. And yes, he is Croatian captain, which is mad actually. According to mancity.com, Tommy, there we go. He's Croatia's captain. I love it. I love this signing captains thing. Everywhere you look in this Manchester City side, there's players that can captain the sides, you know. You look at Akanji. He'll captain Switzerland at one point if he hasn't already. He's a leader, naturally. Stones is a leader. Diaz is a leader. Ake is a leader. Vardy, Alabi signing is a leader, you know. Then you've got Rodri, natural-born leader. Declan Rice, if he comes, is a leader. De Bruyne leads by example. Gundogan was a leader. Kovacic is a captain, you know. Some of these players have been captains. Grealish was a captain at Aston Villa, and he leads by example on the pitch. Haaland leads by example. You know, Bernardo leads by example. Foden would absolutely die for this club as well. We've got a bunch of players who will work their hardest, and that to me is really, 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 really important. And I love this. I love this signing. I get a good feeling sometimes about certain signings because I think sometimes City operate on a smarter level than most teams, they just do. And City understand the value of timing. Timing is everything in football. When you lose hunger or you lose a player, I think we all have to really consciously take in just what we've lost this summer. We've lost hunger, and we can pretend that we haven't, but we would have lost hunger. Some of these players have just done what they will perceive as the pinnacle of football. They'll think it's never going to get better than this. Even if it's not consciously, it will be subconsciously. They will know deep down that City have just completed football, and some will be able to find the energy to go again, but some won't be. Some will go from 100% just to 95% because it won't hurt if they don't win the Champions League next year. That is a worry. You want players who are going to be devastated if they don't win the Champions League next year. It's impossible to find that for everyone, but for some players it'll be too much to get motivated again. And City and Guardiola and some of these players will be very aware of that. So if anyone just looks out the window, let him go outside, man. And that's how I feel about it. There'll be City players sat there looking over going, well, Bayern looks interesting. Barca looks interesting. As soon as they have those intrusive, invasive thoughts, they are gone. They are switched off mentally. We all know that. We've seen it before. And I think there's some signs there. Gundogan, of course, is one. There's reports that Laporte's one. Kyle Walker seems to maybe be another. I don't know if he'll stay or not. I'm sure he'll find the hunger again. But if anyone wants to go, now is the time to bring someone in with a little bit of hunger. to prove themselves. And Kovacic is the exact kind of guy who'll come in, who wants to impress, who'll work really hard, and Guardiola will enjoy having that because he's a natural born winner. He's going to be motivated for at least a couple of years because that's how it works. You join a new team, you've got a new motivation, you've got new people to impress, you've got a new lifestyle. It's exciting, and excitement is everything in football because fundamentally, these are football fans. We forget that this is a job that they want to love, not just enjoy. They want to love it, man. They're doing the thing that they love. So they want to find a new motivation, and Kovacic is going to come here to try and write his own legacy again, and I think he's going to be up for this. So even though he's gone, unfortunately, Gundogan, we bought in a very good player. Maybe not quite as good as Gundogan right now, but we bought in an excellent player. And he is elite. He's an elite level player, Kovacic. His form may not be gone last year, but Kovacic, any team in the world would find a use of Kovacic. That's a fact. Could anyone disagree with that? Liverpool would use him. He'd probably start for Liverpool. United would start him. Arsenal would use him if they had him. They absolutely would do. Madrid would use him if they had him back. Barcelona would. There's not a single team in the world that wouldn't use Kovacic. So that, to me, is the key take here. We're bringing in a guy who's got enough... He's multiple Champions League winner, a Croatian captain who won the best international teams in world football, a Premier League individual player of the year for Chelsea at one point. Nah, he's got it. He understands this. Right age. He's got a few years left at the top. It's a smart signing. And I actually agree with eyes open. I think he'll be in the starting 11. I think he will be. I think he'll adapt very quickly, says eyes open, and he'll be improve on midfield team. I actually agree. The City side next season is going to be different, but that is absolutely fine. Guys, if you're happy with this signing, please do hit the like button. Please do subscribe to the channel if you are new as well. I think this is going to be Chelsea's loss and Manchester City's gain. I think this is a very smart signing. A signing that's going to change the dynamic, of course, of Manchester City Football Club. But that is good. New is good. Fresh is good. I've got a feeling Kovacic, right? We're going to watch him get the ball at one point, and he's going to turn away from someone. He's going to step past the midfield, play a 1-2 with Jack Grealish, and we're going to go, I like that. I really like it. And I actually think his creativity will come back. And do you know when creativity comes back? When you're comfortable in your game. I think Guardiola will unlock a little bit of that. I think what Guardiola does for the right players, he lets them find their joy again. Obviously gives them structure, but they do tend to find their joy again in football. And I actually do believe Kovacic will come in and be like, this is fun, man. This is fun. This is like a really exciting team to play in, and a bit of freedom in the final third, as Jason said. I think he will get there. City dominate the ball so much that Kovacic will have to concentrate on recycling the ball. He'll concentrate on just finding his creativity again, shooting from long range, getting some passes going, and it's always easier to find people in Manchester City. It's easier and harder at the same time, but I think you'll enjoy it. There we go, 10 things you don't know. I can't be asked reading all that, but go check it over on mancity.com. What do you guys make of this signing? How are you feeling about it? Are you excited for this? I think right now his current form is a very good player. I think at his peak, I think he's a world-class player. Do I think that Pep will improve him? Bang on. I think Pep will improve anyone. Look, if you've got quality, you've got the right attitude, and you've got patience, and you've got proven adaptability, you will get better under Guardiola. We've reached a point now that anyone who doubts this, I just don't. I think they live in another world. Kovacic is a smart signing, and he's a smart signing regardless of Gundogan going or not, which has happened. But I think he was a sign that City, as soon as they came available, I think Pep was like, he's good. Get him in. I can work with him. And I think there's an element of Guardiola that signs players that he can work with. That's interesting. I just saw a quote here on Twitter. Apparently, Kovacic was the player he was most looking forward to playing when he joined Chelsea. He was doing some serious stuff against us. Unfortunately, mate, he's moved on. Sorry, Raheem. Oh, it's great to have him. I think this is a smart move. This is interesting from the American Citizen here, by the way. American Citizen, he said his best season was under Maurizio Sarri, who's probably the closest to Guardiola in terms of systems that Chelsea have had. Which is a very good point, It's a very good point. I'm going to actually read American Citizen's Fred on this. A very good follow, by the way. If you're watching my mate, I'll show you your Fred right now. This is his scout report on this. I'll do my own video tomorrow, of course, as well. But he says I'm not going to play these clips because I'll get blocked. He was played a season at Chelsea at one point until he got his injuries. He is elite in playing in small spaces. He's one of the best in the world at keeping it. And since Chelsea, he's had a tough year. He affects play, blah, blah, blah. He looked at the stats from the previous 2 seasons, and this is where he's at, man. I mean, look at this. Oops, moving the wrong thing here. But when it comes to percentile and all that kind of stuff, progressive carries, 96, 97. I mean, there's a lot of green on there. A lot of green on there, which is really, really impressive. And then here we go. I mean, in the Premier League the year before, look at that. 96% for assists. Passes attempted 94th, 93rd. He's basically very good. A very good player with an awful lot of green, which will go up once again under Manchester City. Yeah, I mean, that's Guardiola to a T in it there. 98% percentile passes attempted, 95% of pass completion. It's really, really, really impressive. He's the man for us, basically. I think it's going to be a really, really smart signing. A very smart signing. And I think this is good. I'm looking forward to it. Like, how is he going to fit into this Manchester City side? Which is always, of course, the question. Like, does he play alongside Rodri? Does he play as a number 8? Does he play as a number 6? I think I'm going to try and bring it up on screen. Let's kind of get some sort of system going. And we'll work out where he's going to play. I think Kovacic will probably be an 8. I reckon. I mean, we don't know how City are going to play next year, but I would presume the formation is going to be something like this at times. You know, obviously Edison there, Haaland. I think we'll see something like a 3-2-4-1. Kovacic, Rodri's pretty much always going to be here. This will be Rodri. Cover is going to be either here. If this is not Rice, if he's here, Cover will be here. It'll be either there. If we play 4 at the back, obviously Kovacic will probably be either like that, or he could even be as an 8 alongside Foden or something like that. If we play, you know, double pivot with 3 at the back, Kovacic could be there, or he could be alongside Rodri. There's many ways he could play there, but I think he'll either be as a number 6 or a number 8. I think it's pretty kind of sorted. I agree with Daniel. I don't think he's a replacement. I think he's more just a great opportunity in the market. I don't think we're going to play 4 at the back either. I think it'll be a 3 at the back situation. I think that we know it's going to be a 3 at the back. And I think Kovacic, he could play alongside Rodri. I think he's more likely to play on the left-hand side there. I think it'll be this kind of formation. That could be Foden here. That could be De Bruyne. That could be Winger, Mahrez, whatever. Bernardo. That could be Grealish. So it'll be something like that, I reckon. But that suits him. We're going to be strong and we're going to be organised. You could play in the Gundogan place too, I agree, which would obviously be up there. And I think you'll have a licence to get forward. I think you will do. It's nice. It's nice and I think it works. I think it's going to be a really smooth and natural transition for this Manchester City side. But guys, that is just my opinion. I'll do a more detailed video tomorrow about Kovacic. Thank you for watching. Big love to you guys. Let me know down in the comments what you make of this signing. Give this video a like if you don't mind. Go subscribe to the channel if you are new. Kovacic is a smart signing, a good signing, and I'm very, very excited for this. Sensible. City do sensible better than anyone, I would argue. Alvarez, Akanji, Ake, it's very good. Up the Blues. Welcome to the City, Kovacic. City won the treble.